Welcome to the Confabulation, where on this show, I expand the world of geek by bringing it all together as I talk to you about Transformers, comic books, gaming, tech, and more. I'm your host, E-Man, and today we'll be talking about quite a few things that happened this week in the Week in Geek. CGC CEO response to CBCS's ending. RIP to them. A lot of letters. Comic artist Sam Kieth has passed away. I think this was last week's news, but this is definitely something worth talking about. And there are quite a few Transformer drops that are coming, and this is a few of them that I definitely want to be able to share with you guys. So that's what we're going to be talking about, amongst other things, here this week on the Confabulation. This is going to be my attempt at a new weekly show at talking to you guys about my Week in Geek, things that I've seen, things that I find interesting, things that I definitely want to talk to you guys about, because there's a lot going on in here that needs to be let out. It has to, otherwise Mimi's gonna be like, please find another outlet, for the love of God. So that's what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna do my best to do this like weekly thing during my lunch. It'll be during my lunchtime of work. I work at home on Friday, so I'm gonna be doing this during my lunchtime, hanging out with you guys, just talking about the Week in Geek. Try to keep it a little bit more, segmented and formatted. So really appreciate everyone coming by and hanging out with me. Before we continue on, definitely want to a huge shout out to Comic Capsule. That's right, channel sponsor Comic Capsule. They've reached out to me. We talked about some things, so they are definitely a sponsor of the channel. Make sure you guys head on over to comiccapsule.com and enter code EMAN10 for 10% off your Comic Capsule purchases. I just want to throw a big shout out to them. They've been wonderful. I've been working with them for a while, and then they've been great. I love Comic Capsules, as you guys have already known. If you don't know, I'm gonna show you guys. I have a lot of stuff behind me on the walls that are full of Comic Capsules, which I absolutely love. Another thing I definitely want to show you guys right here. If you are into collecting Transformers and figures, head on over to ShowZStore.com, and in the support your favorite reviewers section is up top. Go ahead and enter code EMAN there, just to let them know that you're supporting the channel. And any purchase that you make on ShowZStore.com, a small portion of that comes over to the channel. Definitely helps me out. There is no us yet. It's only me. I'm the one doing all of this right now. But eventually there might be an us. But yeah, it will definitely help the channel out in the future. So big shout out to ShowZStore.com for that right there. Let me go ahead and reach out to the to you guys who are actually hanging out. Entropy and Comics came by a little too early, but he just wanted to come by and say greetings, community, is one of his favorite words right there. I'm thinking he's talking about the word confabulation. My boy TJ right there, just like, what's going on? He's got eyes on the channel. TJ, I'm hoping that you're here. So, and if you're not, thanks anyway for dropping a message. My friend Bryant, what's up? I hope your issues are comics. I have more than just that kind of issues, Bryant. Honestly, it is beyond that right there. Am I using OBS? No, not yet. Right now, I'm still comfortable using Streamyard, and I still have to get used to using Streamyard to be able to do these lives right here. So I don't know if I'm going to transition into OBS. I'm probably going to be tinkering back and forth between the two apps. As of right now, Streamyard is user-friendly, but I do like OBS for how I can customize it. And it's something that I'm going to really, dig into in the future. I usually use OBS for my, whenever I game and I stream, I use OBS for that. But when it comes down to doing a show like this, it's because of all the assets that I can bring in, and because of all the links and pages that are easily brought up in StreamYard, I'm probably going to be using StreamYard just a little bit more for that. OBS would probably be something, for a different reason in the future. I'm still tinkering around with it, but you and I can definitely talk about that, okay? The cynical banana. Something I wanted to say to you, my friend. Huge shout out to the cynical banana. My first membership subscriber right there. A huge thank you to the cynical banana. I do have memberships enabled here on the channel. 99 cents. It just gives you custom emojis whenever I do these lives right here. It's just a small way to support the channel. In the future, I'm going to go ahead and add a few more tiers because I will be adding giveaways in the future. And of course, the more subscribers and the more memberships, I should say, the more memberships, the better the giveaways will be. My hopes is that by the end of the year, I am not just giving away comic books, but I'm also giving away Transformers. Yeah, Transformers. I'm giving those. Not these big ones, though. I'm sorry. It's not gonna. It's not one of those big ones unless something else happens, But I will be giving away, some figures and some Transformers, and of course, the comic books are going to be in comic capsules. Why? Well, it's because Comic Capsule is a sponsor of the channel. That is why. So giveaways will be in comic capsules. I do promise you guys that right there. Vogs is in the house. Hope to talk to you soon. Vogs, I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking directly to you at this very moment, Vogsy. I'm saying hello to you, sir. Good afternoon, wherever you're at. There in North Carolina. I miss you too, my friend. I miss you too. See? We'll talk more about that, my friend. All right. We'll definitely talk more about how this is working, for me versus like doing OBS and versus, just recording and then editing. A lot goes on in this brain, and there's a certain amount of control that I need and a certain amount of, just automation that needs to happen. I feel like StreamYard does that, Glad to support great content. Cynical Banana, seriously. Thank you so much, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. And hey, you're the only one that can actually use the custom emojis right now. So I have like a Decepticon, Autobot, innocent, and guilty or innocent. I just decided to throw those up for funsies right now, which I might be using in future membership only streams like this, where I'm going to ask you guys, basically, should I do this? Yes or no? Guilty or innocent is going to be the way to go, heads or tails, basically. Big Easy, what's up, man? Thank you for coming by. This is just a straight up impromptu little show that I'm doing right here to talk about the things that I've seen and things that are interesting to me in the Week in Geek, and then wait for me to hang out with you guys and kind of just reach out to the community. I didn't really tell anyone about this because this is more impromptu. I'm definitely planning a once a week, a show, again, during my lunch. I'm technically still at work, but I'm going to be doing it here at home, where I use my lunchtime to just come out here and just talk about things that I've seen in, our geek community, comic books, Transformers, and other things that matter to a lot of us right here. Are the Transformers from, what? I will be completely honest and tell you that one of my first Transformer giveaways is going to be one of the ones that I had on Temu. And I definitely want to put that one in someone else's hand. I feel like someone else can appreciate it too. I kept two of them. One of them I'm going to give away because, well, I don't need it. And I want you guys to have it. It's not like I don't like it. But it'd be nice if I can give it to someone in the community. Just be like, oh, this is a fun little thing that he talked about, So yes, some will be from Temu. Some will be from Temu. See, like Cynical Banana already on it. He's like, oh my gosh, innocent, guilty, Autobot, Decepticon. Thanks for using those right there, Cynical Banana. I appreciate it. And in the future, I'll be adding, the whole, there's a new member, little videos that everyone else has. Give me some time on that right there, you guys. This is the first show. I'm going to be learning as I go. Okay. So yes, big shout outs to you guys out there. All right. So just a couple of things I do want to talk about. Just start off the show is this week. What have I done this week? So we took the kids took the family to go watch that movie Hoppers, which is a new Pixar movie. And honestly, we had such a good time with that one right there. I honestly didn't even know that Hoppers the movie was a Pixar Disney movie. I just knew it was an animated movie that just recently came out. My daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, we need to see this. We need to see this movie as a family." And I don't have the trailer up for it. I just wanted to talk to you about it, but it was a very, very, very cute movie based off a little this young lady who's environmentally friendly. She wants to save all the animals, and then she's going up against the city's mayor who's trying to build a new freeway around this very special pond that her and her grandmother used to talk about, and she's out there trying to save the animals there. And in a crazy sci-fi kind of a twist. Now there's like an Avatar element where she finds out that her teacher is like a special kind of not special kind of, but she's a scientist that is able to put people's minds into like robotic animals, and she can understand that. It was a very, very cute movie. If you guys haven't heard of Hoppers, I highly recommend that you guys take a look at the trailer. No, it's Disney Pixar. And I'll say this, it doesn't have a lot of the Disney Pixar magic, but it's definitely a lot better. One of the more better. Wow, that sounded like English is my first language, right? But it is one of the better Pixar movies that have come out recently, and worth a watch. Worth a watch. Great way to spend time with the family. My kids loved it. I loved it. Quite a few oohs and ahs. And if you've seen the movie, if you've seen Hoppers, there's one specific scene in the movie where it's been a while since I've been to a movie theater, but there was a collective gasp and a roar of laughter that happens right afterwards, and it had the whole family tickled. So if you've seen Hoppers, great. I'm hoping you know what I'm talking about. But if not, highly recommend it. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it doesn't have the Disney magic, but super, super fun, great movie, one worth watching. Dope Comics is in the house. What's up, Dope? I met Dope at Heroes Con last year. And for some of you who don't know, Heroes Con is a straight up all comic conventions, like the purest Comic Con there can be, and it's in a large 250,000 square foot convention center in North Carolina. And it was my first time going there. I got to meet a lot of people in the comic book community out there, and it was one of like the best, it was the best Comic Con I've ever been to. Yes, better than San Diego Comic Con. Yes, better than a lot of the local cons that I go to. Heroes Con is probably the best comic con in the world. I will say that this is because it's focused. It's focused on the comic books. It's focused on the creators. It's focused solely on the fans that do comic books. And it's probably the absolute best way to attend a Comic Con. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was trying to play music earlier and I realized that there's no music playing. So let me know if you guys can hear the music. I have Spotify playing in the background, some nice lo-fi music, just to kind of keep it nice and calm. And if you guys can't hear it, let me know. I'll probably turn it up. Yes, Dope. It was a blast. It was great meeting you too, dude. I would love to go back and just hang out with you and Nathan and Lettuce. Like, you guys were great. What I loved about it is that you have your circle of friends. You have a circle of people that you already kind of know. Being able to expand that circle and finding out that new people you meet are a part of the same circle you're in was what happened at Heroes Con. I don't know you. I've heard of you. Oh, you're here. Wait, you're here. It was so cool to me as a first timer to be able to see like a huge comic book YouTube community go out there. There was probably about 200 people. Dope, go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was about 200 people ish at this restaurant that one of our buddies went ahead and reserved. And it was such an awesome time being able to, shake hands with everyone, signing everyone's comics. It was a blast. So Heroes Con is not going to happen this year for me, but it's something that I definitely want to go to in the future. Going to the comics going to the movies is crazy expensive these days. So I have to really want to see something to go. Definitely going to catch the new Mario movie. Mario movie looks great. If you have kids, to go take them to go see Hoppers. Honestly, it's a great family movie. I really, really recommend it. If you guys have kids, go watch Hoppers. It was awesome. It was phenomenal meeting you at Heroes Con. YouTube Bogsy was there. It was a blast just being able to see everyone. One day. This year is not going to happen. Maybe next year. Because I've expanded into Transformers, and honestly, Transformers is really like my first love. I'm more looking at going to like TFCon in Orlando later on this year. I missed TFCon LA. I don't know if there's a BotCon this year, something that I've always wanted to go to the Transformer conventions. The only thing is they're not as big as the Comic Cons that we go to. They're pretty small. They're actually probably about the size of like a mid-size local con. From what I've seen, even TFCon might have been slightly smaller than even Stockton Con. which StocktonCon is actually held in a basketball arena in Stockton, California. And just looking at some of the pictures, looking at the layout, TFCon LA looked small in comparison to cons that I've been to, but because it's so focused on Transformers, I have to be there. I want to go there. So one of these days, man, I will go back. Play music from Spotify. Won't that actually? So there is Harris Heller is a big time YouTuber. He's got a YouTube site called Senpai Gaming, and he's created and curated these lists of just like songs, music that he's hired people on Fiverr just to kind of create for him, and he's put them all on Spotify, and they are DMC free. So you can definitely use it, play it in the background without getting any kind of strikes, which is really, really cool. So as long as you're using Spotify to stream beats live, you won't get any kind of strike, which is really awesome. So no, nothing like that. So just a couple of things. I definitely, well, not a couple. There's a lot of things that we that I really want to touch base on. So, like I said, Hoppers was great. A movie, Cynical, we were talking about movies that are getting expensive. Another movie that I actually do want to see, and I do have the trailer for, that I just learned about yesterday, is this movie called The Forgotten Island. This is from DreamWorks. And now it kind of feels like this year to me, maybe I'm kind of like going overboard with it, but it feels like to me that this year the animation wars are going to start all over again. I'm kind of looking forward to that because, Pixar and Disney came out with Hoppers and I thought that was good. I think Forgotten Island looks probably even better, but it's definitely aimed at a different crowd. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer together because I freaking loved it. Hold on. Let me bring up the correct one. Here we go. All right. So this is the trailer for Dream Stars Forgotten Island. It looks great. Hold on. That's a little too low. Let's turn that up. Oh, there's no movie sound? Oh no. I messed that up. Ah, well, you guys can't hear it. I don't know what happened here. I'm so sorry. I thought I had it uh set up for, let me double check here, you guys. I really want you guys to see this with me, but window. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Stay with me. So look, this is the first episode. All right. There's a lot of things I still have to learn doing this. It's been a while since I've done this, you guys. So, but yeah, let's do this again. This is the trailer for the Lost Island or Forgotten Island. Tell me if you guys can hear it now.
I'm Risa. Do you want to be best friends?
Cool. Let's make it official.
I've never had a best friend before.
Me neither.
Let's go.
We're gonna be best friends forever. Right?
Forever and ever.
You don't have to go all the way to the US for school.
It's what my parents want.
It shouldn't be their choice. It's your life. But hey, we made some good memories. Raisa? Something's happening! No way.
Won't you come to me? I'll be alone.
Hold on!
Won't you come see about me?
Where are we?
The Forgotten Island is a dangerous place. The longer you're here, the more memories you'll forget.
We would forget everything, even each other.
Forget about me.
This is our entire friendship.
We gotta find our way back home.
Don't you forget about me.
Now, I think that movie looks really dope. It looks super, super fun. It hits home to me. I'll tell you why. There was imagery of jeepneys and the Filipino sun, and well, this is supposed to be set in the Philippines, and kids leaving or kids moving out of the house to another country to go to school. As that's a big thing. That's a big thing that people in the Philippines are trying to get their kids out, like go elsewhere to go learn. So it resonates with me right here. But because of like all the magic and whatnot in this one right here, it seems really, really cool. And again, it touches my heart because it's very Filipino centric. Voice actresses are Liza Sobriano. If you guys have seen that Netflix anime called Trece, she actually voiced Trece in that. And then Grammy nominated Filipina artist Her is actually voicing one of the girls also. And there's other voice actors in here. Big surprises that I found out this morning, like Joe Coy is in it, Lea Salonga, Robbie Chang, the comedian from SNL, he's going to be in there too. So this movie coming out this October is something I'm really, really looking forward to. And I honestly, I can't wait. I think it looks great. And I'm definitely going to be taking the daughters to go see that one. The son, actually the boys too. Actually the whole family. You might as well just bring them all. Man, Cynical Banana, I think you might be right. Go to the movies is way too expensive. Way too expensive. $5 Tuesdays. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait for like that Tuesday. All right, it released, but we're going to go watch it on Tuesday. It was only $5. So if you guys can't spend all the money on the family to go take them out on the weekends, wait till Tuesday. Typically a lot cheaper right there for you guys. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. I really enjoyed it. I really like it. I thought it's something that I'm looking forward to. The kids are just like, oh, man, this looks great. So I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, October, the Forgotten Island. I'm going to be doing a review on that one 100% for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and move into some of my mail calls today. So today, I definitely want to show you guys some cool things. Okay. So on Instagram, I follow a guy named Neo S Kamikaze JPG. I've been following him for a while. He's got like a fantastic Instagram, great imagery on his Instagram when it comes down to posting his comic books. A lot of colors behind, a lot of lights. Really cool. And then a buddy of mine that I met, through Instagram, his name is Saga Comics, and he posted a lot of comics from Saga Comics. That's his thing right there. But both of them have this really wonderful way of displaying their comics on Instagram. Very colorful, very vibrant backgrounds. Very, a couple of them have they have their computers in the background. They just look great. So they were running a giveaway not too long ago, and I happened to have won one of the giveaways from their Instagram post. And this is what I ended up getting. And this is really, really sick. This is the cover A, Something's Killing the Children, number 7 in a CGC 9.8. And I got this from them. I won this on their giveaway right here. And this is pretty dope. I really enjoy Something's Killing the Children. The last few episodes, it's not a show. It's a comic book. The last few issues have been okay, but the series itself, the main protagonist right there, Jessica Slaughter, I really, really enjoy her. So I ended up winning this from them there on Instagram. So big shout out to Neon S Kamikaze and my boy Saga Comics out there. Thank you guys so much for that. So that was pretty dope. Another thing I want to show you guys right here, Transformers related. I haven't shown this to you guys yet. I've unboxed it, but I haven't unboxed it yet. But I'm a part of a Facebook group called the Transformer Underground, and on that group, they raffle off Transformers. You pay a certain amount for a raffle, basically a raffle, online raffle ticket. They draw names, and winner ends up picking. Typically, they end up picking whatever they want out of a lot of Transformers. And I saw this one, and I won one person's game, and I said, I need this. I need this. I need this like I need a heart attack. But I want this. And I don't have an official Takara Tomy MP44 Optimus Prime. That is almost like a grail to me. That's like, if you're an Optimus Prime fan and you like your masterpiece sized Transformers, that's like the one that you should have in your collection, or one that you should strive to try to get. However, I think this is the next best thing in that tier, because this is still the MP44 mold, but it's in the shattered glass coloring. This is the MPG-12 Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. I won this. Won it. I didn't buy it, babe. I didn't buy it. Don't worry about it. I won it. So this right here, I actually ended up getting not too long ago. This is the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, the MPG-12. This is, like I said, based off the MP44 mold, and it's gorgeous. Like all the Japanese writing right there in the back, legit. I still have to do a proper unboxing of this. That I really want to do a proper unboxing and review, like what I do on the channel. And if you guys don't know, I've been doing Transformer reviews. Go back and take a look at them. I just started recently doing Transformer reviews. I have this thing where I unbox them, show them to you initially, do this little fancy little cinematic view of what they look like, and then at the end I show you what it is in alt mode, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Something I felt like, different approach to doing Transformer reviews, and I'm going to end up doing it for that one right there. That's something that's very, very special to me. Something that's super cool to me. Something I really want to do. So keep an eye out, on the channel. I'm going to be doing that eventually. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yes. Extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. I got lucky with that one right there. Next week, I'll show you guys a little bit more in the collection, as to, how I'm going to format the show. But, just right now, these are a couple of things that I want to show you. Now, a couple of comic books that I've been reading, and I'm just going to show you guys real quick, what I have been reading. See, before I used to do, new comic book date pickups, what have I done? What have I picked up? And I stopped that a while ago because I said it in the video that I'm pretty much just picking up Energon Universe and, James Tynion comics. That's basically it. So I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I stopped making the new comic book day videos that I used to, but I figured I still pick up comic books. I still want to share with you guys what I'm reading. So just a quick way to do it is just kind of do it here on this live. So of course I'm reading Void Rivals. This is part 3 of 6 of the Quintus on War. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. So it's pretty cool. Ghost Pepper. Now, this is the comic book that I feel like is so overlooked. I want and I need more people to read Ghost Pepper. I love this book right here. It's basically about a guy who wakes up from like some kind of slumber to find out that, wait, what's going on? Who's ruling the kingdom? Why is he ruling the kingdom? He said he did what? He didn't do that. I did. And so now he's going after this ruler of the kingdom. But there's so much comedy involved, so much adventure that happens in here. He ends up meeting a food truck ramen owner. So she makes ramen out of a food truck, and that's like her shtick. She goes from town to town, and that's her thing. She sells ramen, but she has a secret ingredient that the main character Ash needs, and it kind of powers him up. So just again, comedy ensues in this one right here, Ghost Pepper. To my understanding, there's only going to be about 12 issues. Ludo Lullaby mentioned that it's only going to be a 12 issue series. However, there's some news, he says, and I talked to him directly. If you look at his site, I have one comment, and he commented back, Ludo and I were kind of buddies now after that one right there. But he did mention that there is going to be an announcement about Ghost Pepper coming out in June. So if you guys haven't jumped on Ghost Pepper, go back and find those back issues. Phenomenal read. And Ignition Press is a new publisher that recently came out, and they are coming out with a bunch of solid comics, things that I enjoyed. I like this because I get to start from the very beginning. They do remind me of old Aftershock and some of the other publishers that have been around. So I'm really digging a lot of their comics. So just a few of them that I'm really reading and enjoying. Murder Podcast, fantastic read. To me, it feels like you're watching Friends who are trying to solve a mystery. It's almost like Friends meets Scooby-Doo, but like more murdery than that. Because there's this podcast that people listen to and it puts them in a trance and they just literally start killing people. These friends are somewhat involved. One of the friends is a detective, so they're trying to figure out what's happening. But like this set of friends are like, oh my God, what's going on around us? And they're kind of tied to it. But little do they know, a lot of people know that behind the scenes, there's actually some kind of secret cult that's running this, but the stories haven't tied just yet. Murder Podcast is probably one of my new favorite reads of this year. So definitely pick that up. One worth reading. The Beauty. This is another crazy book right here. Basically, anyone can turn beautiful and they look much better. It's an STD that you have to get, but there's a whole lot of underground pharmaceutical stuff that happens behind the scenes, and there's these two detectives that are trying to figure out what is happening, what is going on. I am currently watching the TV show, and I don't want to say that the comic is based on the TV show and vice versa, where the TV show is based on the comic. It almost feels like they're similar, but they're still in two separate worlds. I'm doing my best not to tie the show to the comic, but I do see a lot of the similarities in it. So I'm just going to keep it separate for now. I'm just reading two separate universes of the same idea, and they're both awesome. I think the show, The Beauty on FX is really crazy. It's way out there. Not for the family. Don't have your 10-year-old watch that show, please. For the love of God, do not have the 10-year-old watch that. It's a crazy, crazy show. So yeah, if you guys have FX, definitely worth a watch. And if you're looking for another read, just definitely read The Beauty. It's a really, really good book right there. Wait a second here. And then Roots of Madness. This is a really good one right here from Stephanie Williams and Letitia. How do you pronounce her last name? I think it's Kadanichi. Another book from Ignition Press. Basically, what I'm saying, Ignition Press right now is starting to be like one of my favorite publishers because I really enjoy reading indie comics. And some of my favorite creators, the Miranda brothers, actually have a comic on there called Arcadia too, which is one of the reasons why I even know about Ignition Press. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and see what else this publisher is releasing. So far, I think out of 10 books, I want to say 8 of them I like. 5 of them I'm really enjoying, and 3 of them are like in my top regular reads, the ones that I look forward to. Murder Podcast is one of them. That's like one of the reads, and to me it's up there with Ghost Pepper and it's with Transformers. I love my Transformers. If you guys don't know, I'm a Transformer fan, but I feel like Transformers, Arcadia, and Murder Podcast and Ghost Pepper are like the ones I really look forward to reading every month. So well, definitely want you guys to want to share that with you guys, let you guys know what I'm reading right now. Let's get into a little bit of news. Now, I don't want to say that I'm a news person, and whatnot. So actually, no, wait, we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do something different. So let's get into some Transformer drops. Let's talk about some releases that are coming up pretty soon here that I find quite interesting, and I definitely want to be able to share this with you guys right here. Bringing that up. So we finally got some pictures of what the Adamus Machina looks like. And it's going to be it's going to be pretty dope. So the Takara Tomy T-Spark Adamus Machina AM T02 Predaking. This is their version of Predaking. I know some people may already have this one in hand right here. And this isn't a third-party figure. This is a straight up. This is Takara Tomy. This is their version. This is licensed by them. I should say this because I believe Adamus Machina is the actual company that put it together, the designers. But it's got the Takara Tomy name on it, so we have to deem it official. And this thing is a beast. This thing hold on. I'm not gonna say it's a beast because, to my understanding, this figure is actually pretty small compared to other combiners. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I believe it's only going to stand at about 12 inches tall in combined mode. But even at 12 inches tall in combined mode, look at the detail. I think the detail in this thing is killer. I've always liked Predaking, even going back to the cartoon, because he was always unhinged. Right, he was always like no, I do my own thing, yada yada yada. But he's still kind of because there were Predacons. But of course, the 80s toys and all the combiners in the 80s, they weren't the best. Now that we're here in 2026, engineers, designers step in, they're able to do things better. I think this is one of the best looking Predakings out there. I think he looks great. It looks like the articulation is going to be on point, even in combiner mode. So Adamus Machina with their Predaking, something to look out for, something that I would love to get. There's actually a game in the underground right now. Someone's trying to give that one away, so I'm crossing my fingers that I win that game because I want it. That Adamus Machina Predaking is fantastic. Now there was also like this one. I need opinions on this one right here, you guys. I love my Optimus Prime. I love Optimus. That's my boy. I will always be like, that's my hero. That's my Captain America. That's my Spider-Man right here. There's a new Optimus Prime that they're going to release, and I don't want it. I don't want this. I don't know why they decided to do something like this, but I kind of don't want this. So Transformers Icons Optimus Prime Voyager class action figure that turns into the Autobot logo. Display your faction allegiance in the Icons of Optimus Prime collectible figure. It's a 6 3/4 inch figure, converts between robot and action mode, and the Autobot faction symbol in 25 steps. Why? I don't know. I can't love everything Optimus Prime. I can't. I love Optimus, but I can't love everything. This I don't love. I don't know. Now, here in robot mode, he looks okay. He looks all right. Like, I can't be mad at it, but I'm also not happy because in the insignia, and of course, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the Megatron version, but I don't know what to feel about this one right here. I don't want to get it. I wouldn't want to get it, but if this is something that you're interested in, please let me know. Let me know in the chat, or let me know down in the comments below if you're watching this on the rewind. Let me know what you guys think about the Autobot logo Optimus Prime. I'm not a fan. I think this is a hard pass for me right here. I can see that the idea may have been cooler in someone's head than it really was, but not for me. I think I'm gonna pass on that one right there. Jonathan Rowe, another fellow member of the Facebook groups right there. That is crap. I concur. I don't want to say it's crap. Look, here's the thing. We can't be knocking on Hasbro and Takara Tomy like all the time because we need them to keep releasing these things so that way there is still a fandom. But I get it. It's not what I want. I don't want it. I wouldn't want to add that to my collection 100%. But I'm sure there's a kid out there that's like, oh my God, Dad, look at this Optimus Prime. Okay, cool. I'm happy for you. I am happy for you, kid. let me let's slow it down just a little bit, and something it's sad to bring up, but it's got to be said. Let me bring this up right here. Well, Sam Kieth, comic book great artist, passed away recently at the age of 63, and his the Max comic book that came out in the 90s was way out there. Imaginary world, big guy, and the design of the Max was really cool. And of course, his art resonates with a lot of people when he did, Wolverine prior to, and whatnot. And it's sad to hear that some people that I grew up with, knowing and understanding their work and whatnot, unfortunately they passed away. And this one really hit hard for me because I really enjoyed the comic books when it was out. These ones I actually, made sure that I tried to get, back in the 90s. And his passing though was the one that really got me. He passed away of Lewy body dementia, which is a degenerative disease, is described as a combination of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And I can't imagine what Sam Kieth and his wife were going through when that had happened. Alzheimer's already devastating as it is. But Alzheimer's and Parkinson's together, it's sad, and I don't want to hear that, and I don't want to wish that upon anybody. But just knowing that Sam Kieth had passed away, this one stung. And 2026 isn't the best year. It just reminded me of 2016 when we lost a lot of greats, and it just feels like it's starting off like that this year. Sam Kieth being a huge part of the comic book, world, and losing him too. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating. It sucks. It's life. But definitely you're never prepared. No one's ever prepared to hear some of their favorites passing away. And he was one of my favorites growing up. He was one of the reasons why I jumped into reading Image Comics, and then watching his watching his animated show on MTV back in the day. That was awesome. So big shout out to a long life of Sam Kieth. I feel like he passed away a little too soon, but at 63, he still lived a fairly full life right there. Who gave us great, amazing works. The Batman and the Max comics were entertaining as well. So big shout out to him, and may he rest in peace. And I hope his family definitely finds a little, some peace in that right there. Some more Transformer things that I do want to bring up. So these are a couple of drops that are coming up. That was a great transition right there, right? Let me bring this. And this one now, to the flip side of that Optimus Prime one, we are now going to be getting something that is very near and dear to my heart. And that is, here we go, the MPG 23. Hey, go away, ads. MPG 23 RC is coming soon from Takara Tomy Transformers Masterpiece. Now, I believe there was already a Masterpiece sized RC, but I never got it. And I don't want to spend the kind of money that they are asking for online. But it's something that I definitely want to add to my collection. Most of you already know, and if you don't know, I named my daughter RC because of the 86 movie. So this one's coming out pretty soon. And I can't... How do you like the Masterpiece MP23 RC? I don't know. There's no images. There's no images. I can't tell. How are you going to ask me if there's something that I like when there's no images? See, I can't be doing this. It's like asking someone to like and subscribe before they even watch the video. I'm not guilty of that whatsoever. No. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one right there. The because I like I say, I don't have the original Masterpiece RC, and I would love to add that to the collection right there. And one more thing in pop culture that I want to bring up. Going in, switching over to comic books. So CBCS is a company that graded comic books. It was, not as highly revered and looked at with the same respect as CGC, but some people still went in the direction of getting their books graded by CBCS. Well, recently there was news that they're basically getting closed down. Like that part of that the company is going to end up closing down because I believe the company who owns Beckett, who owns PGA, owns CBCS, and they're closing them down. And so now PGA is going to be the other one plus PSX, the other one. There's another one that people are like, they're around. And it sucks for a lot of people who collected original art because CBCA would grade original art and then get that graded for you. And it's cool because you would get a little label. It says art on it, but it still looks like a comic book rating. So they're going to be shutting down. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the response. The response from the CEO of CGC, who's definitely, they're the ones that almost everyone goes to. And it's very obvious that if you get a book graded from CGC versus CBCS, it's just, valued higher at CGC. Okay, fine, whatever. But the response from the CEO right after that, this came out yesterday. There's another major shakeup in the world of grading this week, but this time I don't think anyone is surprised. Collectors place a lot of trust in grading services. You need to trust that the grading service is accurate. You also need to trust that the grading service treats your collectibles with care. And when you're building a collection with that grading service, you need to trust that your grading service will be around in the future. I am not a fan of that response whatsoever. I'm not a fan of that response. I feel like the CEO is gloating. I feel like he's just still stomping down on the grounds of, what CBS used to do and them shutting down in April. It feels like he's just kind of standing over CBCS with his arms to the side, like, we won. You have to trust us, humans. And a lot of people don't even like CGC because they've also broken trust with a lot of collectors. And it's sad. It's sad. I just don't feel like they need. Thank you, right? PSA. It was like PSX, PGX. It wasn't a P. It was another one. Let's game in the market. So CGC will raise their prices. I see it. It's possible. It's happened, already within the last few years. There's. But now people are going to look to PSA, right? I'm not trying to, tell you guys what to do, but PSA and there's that other one. There's less known, but people still do it. But PSA is the one that I believe that goes under Beckett and all the other sports card gradings, and they stepped into the world of grading comic books. And there's been discussions as to whether PSA is doing a good job with it or not. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, TJ. PGX. There's way too many letters going on in here. All right, CBCS, CGC, RIP, PGX, PSA. It's gonna end. It needs to end soon. Oh, that's right. Completely forgot about EGS. But with CGC pretty much holding the crown, like we have everything. Are they going to raise prices? I'm not here to discuss whether they're going to raise prices. Should they? No, they shouldn't. But I think as collectors, we got screwed out of, options. People I don't think we trust PSA just yet, even though they've been in the card game for a while. And you guys let me know. You guys let me know in the chat. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Would you submit a comic book, or have you submitted a comic book to PSA? Do you like it? Are you happy with it? I've held one of their slabs, and they're sturdy. They're heavy. They're heavier than CGC. I don't like the label. It's not aesthetically pleasing to me. Matter of fact, to me, the CGC JSA verified signature label, I think, is the best label out there. That's just my opinion. I think it looks great. I love the coloring of that right there. But I'm not going to tell you that because of a label, I'm going to go ahead and rely on them only because CBCS was able to do that. And I think CBCS was able to signature verify even better, even though CGC has JSA. Way too many letters. Basically, what I'm saying is we got screwed because CBCS got bought out by a bigger company. Basically, they're folding that in, and then we have an asshole CEO gloating over their demise. And that's the main point of this right here, is that I'm not down with that. I don't like how he approached it. I personally felt like Steve was it Eichenbaum? I feel like he's just gloating, and that's not, to me, it's not something that you should do. It's business. I'm not in that world right there. I just felt like he's too much of he was an asshole for doing that right there. I think it was just poor timing. I think it was poor in taste as to how it was worded. I just don't agree with it, And some people are like, "Oh, he's just saying that." Well, they are the most trusted. I felt like he was saying that we won and you lost. And I didn't feel right about that. CGC raising prices equals a day that ends in Y. Yes, wet. Yeah, I hear you, TJ. I hear you 100%. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are for all you comic book, collectors, are you still going to submit to, your comics to, CGC, or are you just gonna go ahead and put them in a comic capsule? Remember, just head on over to comiccapsule.com and put in code EMAN10 to get your 10% off right there of a comic capsule. Much cheaper than CGC. Just saying, they come in pretty colors, you guys. Okay, just saying. Channel sponsor, comiccapsule.com. Use code EMAN10 for 10% off. Oh man, but that is pretty much it for this first episode of the Confabulation, you guys. It's just a show that I'm probably going to do every week, just to kind of come out here and talk to you guys about Transformers and comic books, things that I find interesting throughout the week, and I'm going to do my best to segment them. And as time goes on, like I said, we're probably going to have some giveaways and stuff like that here on the channel. So this is just my first attempt at this, and I'm telling myself at least for 2 months I'm going to keep doing this, so that way I get to hang out with you guys on my lunchtime. I'm on my lunch. I'm supposed to work in about 5 minutes, but it's my lunchtime. I can do whatever I want during lunch. All right. Well, thank you guys so much in the chat for coming by and hanging out. And keep in mind, I do have, like I said, channel memberships are available, 99 cents at the moment. Just a good way to support the channel. Also, if you purchase a figure at ShowZStore.com and enter EMAN in your favorite reviewer section, the small portion of that does come back to the channel as well. And honestly, the best way to support the channel is just to come on by, like, subscribe, and definitely share the videos. Make sure you guys go back and watch some of my review videos also. Those are super fun to make, and I really enjoy making them for you guys. Okay. All right. Well, that is it for this episode of the Confabulation, episode 1 right here. And I'll try to be back next week, you guys. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye.
Hold up. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey.